students, how are you all? Hope you are safe and sound and fit and fine. Warm welcome to English class. I am Sarita and today I am going to start a very beautiful poem, The Last Bargain. It is written by Rabindranath Tagore, the famous poet who has also written our national anthem. So here, bargain means an agreement done between two parties in which they offer to do something for each other. So let's start the poem. It is a soulful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. In this poem, it is described that all the materialistic things of the world are worthless. So they are not everlasting, they are not permanent. So in this poem, the speaker wants to be hired by someone and he wanted permanent happiness. So let's see how he's asking, how he's bargaining for his desires. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. So the speaker is crying. He's saying, come and hire me. And where he was walking? In the morning he was walking on the stone paved road. So he was walking in the morning. Morning symbolizes hope and courage. So morning time we always symbolize with hope and courage. So he was hopeful and he was courageous and he was walking on the stone paved road. Was walking, it is alliteration here. The W letter is repeated and sound is repeated. And stone paved road means, stone paved road means it is a road which is full of difficulties. The path which is full of difficulties. So that's why it is symbolizing the difficulties. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. And then suddenly he saw a king who was having sword in his hand and he was coming in his chariot. Chariot means rath. तो जो king होता है वो रथ में आता है and उसके पास sword होती है. So the sword in hand symbolizes the power. The king is a powerful person and he came in his chariot. He held my hand, again it is alliteration, and said, I will hire you with my power. And the king said, offered to the speaker that he will hire him with his power. So here the speaker was offered the power in return of his labor. In the heat, but his power counted for naught and he went away. But the speaker was not satisfied with the power of the king because power is not everlasting, it is not permanent. So he did not accept his offer and the king went away in his chariot. In the heat of midday, now after morning it was afternoon and it was midday. It was afternoon time, mid time of the day, and the sun was very hot. So it was hot outside. Houses stood with shut doors, and the houses were shut and their doors were shut. The doors of the houses were shut. So at that time in the afternoon, I wandered along the crooked lane. The speaker was wandering along the crooked lane. Crooked lane means uneven or bent roads kind of thing. So it is also symbolizing the difficulties. The path was full of difficulties. Like the speaker was in the hot sun. So he was facing that hotness. And he was wandering, he was roaming here and there and he was restless to find out something. So an old man came out with his bag of gold and just then an old man appeared with his bag of gold. Bag of gold here symbolizes the wealth. So when he saw the old man, he pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. And then the old man thought for a while and said that I will hire you with my money, my wealth. So in return of your labor, I will give you the money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. And the old man started counting his coins. But the poet was not satisfied, because that bag of gold cannot give the young days of the old man. So it shows that the wealth is also not everlasting. It is not permanent. It cannot give you happiness, which is from inside. So the old man's offer also was rejected by speaker, and he walked away. It was evening. Now after that, it was evening time. The garden hedge was all aflower, and the garden was full of beautiful flowers, and it was a romantic scene. It was full of beauty. So now evening symbolizes the beauty. The garden hedge was full of beautiful flower. Everything was looking very romantic and loving. The fair maid came out and sat, and from there a fair maid, a beautiful lady came out. She came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. That beautiful lady gave him the offer of her smile and said in return of his labor, she would be giving her smile to him. But then suddenly her smile paled and melted into tears. And then suddenly her smile disappeared. That means it was momentary. It was not permanent. So paled and melted into tears. What does it show? It shows hopelessness. And she went back alone in the dark, and she was disappeared in the darkness of the evening. That means the hopelessness and darkness. So her beauty was not permanent. So the speaker was not satisfied, and he understood that it was momentary, and he did not accept her offer as well. So he did not want hopelessness or the darkness. So he left the offer and he walked away. The sun glistened on the sand. Now it was next day, and now the sun was rising and it was glistening on the sand. Sun and sand having alliteration again. So the sun was glistening on the sand. जब सुबह सुबह जब सूरज उदय होता है तो पूरा का पूरा जो सिनेरियो होता है वो चमकता हुआ दिखाई देता है ना, तो वैसे ही, और अगर रेत होती है तो वो सुनहरी कलर में चमकती है. तो सेम सीन was appearing here, and the sea waves broke waywardly, and the sea waves were breaking, and there was a sound of sea waves also. The scene was beautiful, and the new day brought new hope. So a child sat playing with shells, and near that seashore a child was playing with the shells, seashells. तो जो शेल्स होती हैं समुद्र में, उनके साथ एक छोटा सा बच्चा वहां पे खेल रहा था. He raised his head and seemed to know me. His head, again it is alliteration, and the child lifted his head and saw the speaker, and it was looking like that the child knows him, and said, then the child have also some offer to give to the speaker, and he said, I hire you with nothing. Now the child's offer was this, that he would not hire him, and he will be not giving him anything in return of his labor. From thenceforward that bargain struck in child's play, and that was the last bargain for the speaker, because in that child's play symbolizes innocence and inward happiness. So in the child's play, the speaker found out the real happiness of life, which was very innocent, and it was of a mix of innocence and hopefulness. So in child's play, as a child you would be very happy. You don't have any worries and you don't have any kinds of tensions. So that child's play, hopefulness and innocence, the speaker actually wanted, and that was permanent. कभी भी जब हम किसी भी बच्चे को देखते हैं तो वो परमानेंटली हैप्पी होता है ना, तो दैट परमानेंट हैप्पीनेस द स्पीकर वांटेड, and this made me a free man. Made me, again it is alliteration, the m letter is repeated, and from henceforward the speaker was a free man. So actually he wanted freedom. He did not want to be a slave under somebody. So this was the beautiful poem. Let's have a small recap of the poem. The last bargain. In the first stanza, there was a king with his power who wanted to hire the speaker with his power, but for speaker the power was worthless, so he did not accept his offer. In the next stanza, an old man with the bag of gold, he was hiring him with his wealth, but the poet was not satisfied and he did not accept old man's offer as well. Then in the third paragraph, there was a fair maid who offered him to hire him with her smile, but later on he came to know that her smile paled and melted into tears, and it was just a momentary smile. The beauty of the fair maid was not permanent, it was not everlasting. So the speaker, again he was disappointed and he walked away. Then in the last paragraph, it was a new day, means it was a new hope, and then suddenly he saw a child and the child offered him to hire him with nothing, and the speaker was satisfied. He was having peace in his mind, he was having happiness from inside. So in the innocence of the child, he found the real happiness. So the speaker wants to convey a message to us that all the worldly things, all the materialistic things are momentary, they are not permanent. So we should be looking forward to the permanent happiness of the life. So wealth, beauty and power, they are momentary. So we should look for the permanent happiness of the life, which lies in the innocence of the child, which lies in the peace of the mind, which lies in inward happiness. So hope you have understood this poem, children. It was really a beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore, who has also written our national anthem. So hope you have understood it. Thanks for joining us. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.